And yes, and when I say hello to you, then we will begin the conversation.
Thank you.
Right. And unfortunately, although we are in the midst of the Pegasus, the noise is not too bad. The interview yesterday went really, really nicely. So I expect today is going to be, yeah, very much the same. All right, so we're just a few seconds away from 11:30.
Okay.
Right, so let me just have a quick. Yes, start the video. I'm not getting audio. Still no audio.
Don't again audio.
Over the years, we have been guided by giants. Our global ambassador, Professor Bob Garrett, Professor Mervyn King. Across history, moments of great change have called for great leadership. Today, we stand at one of those moments. Generative AI is reshaping our economies, our societies, and our ways of life. And the Caribbean must lead with wisdom, courage, and vision. Over the years, we have been guided by giants. Our global ambassador, Professor Bob Garrett, Professor Mervyn King, Professor Charlotte Vallée, Nandi Mandela, and Professor John Elkington. As generative AI reshapes our world, governance must not just adapt, it must lead. We are thrilled to welcome Fatima Abu Salem of the University of Beirut, our keynote speaker, as we feature a week of powerful conversations, fresh ideas, and collective action. Over 5 days, more than 50 Caribbean leaders will join forces to adapt to change and to shape it, to build governance that is ethical, resilient, and deeply human. We thank our sponsors for standing with us on this journey. Governance Week 2025, Governance in the Age of Generative AI.
Thank you very much, Quantrell, for sharing that video with us. Hello to everyone and welcome to Governance Live here, hosted by the Caribbean Corporate Governance Institute. I'm Kamla Rampersad de Silva, and I'm so pleased to be the CEO of this wonderful organization. Governance Live is our series that leads up to Governance Week, our signature event here at CCGI, where we feature over 50 speakers from around the Caribbean region as we look at issues that faces our directors and the whole evolving governance landscape. This Governance Week, we focus on governance in the age of generative AI. And we know that artificial intelligence is simply at the start of what is going to be a very transformed world. It means, therefore, that our directors, our officers of organizations need to be prepared how they can harness this potential to bring benefits to their organization. As we start today, I would like to thank our sponsors for Governance Week 2025. We are so pleased to welcome Massey Holdings, our returning platinum sponsor for Governance Week. We have 2 silver sponsors, Trident Trust from the British Virgin Islands and First Citizens Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. We also have 6 bronze sponsors this year. 5 from Trinidad and Tobago. We welcome Republic Bank Limited, PwC Trinidad and Tobago, Angostura Holdings, B-Mobile, a first-time sponsor for Governance Week, Infosys Systems for Links, which is also a first-time sponsor for Governance Week. And we welcome from Belize, G.A. Rowe and Sons, returning for the 2nd year as a bronze sponsor with us for Governance Week. So today, as we did at the start of yesterday, we have a guest with us who will be discussing a bit about the changing environment for our directors and officers and how they can prepare to better fulfill their functions. And so I'd like to welcome Rahul Lildhar. Rahul is, in fact, the executive director for the Suriname Guyanese Chamber of Industry and Commerce. We are actually here at a trade mission that is hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, and Rahul is their key point person. They're the consultants serving to organize what has been a very successful mission so far. So Rahul, thank you. The accommodation here at the Pegasus is really very good, and all the meetings have been going well. So thank you for taking the time to also join us for Governance Live this morning.
Thank you for having me, and it's such a pleasure as well to hear that you are having a good time here at the Pegasus, and you're also having a very good B2B meetings and connecting with the Guyanese businesses as well. And at the same time, I do look forward to welcoming you to Suriname as we embark on that mission from tomorrow.
Yes, thank you very much, Rahul. It will be our first time to Suriname. And of course, CCGI has a range of members across the Caribbean region, at least 8 countries. We don't yet have a member from Suriname, however, so we look forward to being a part of the trade mission that takes us there. And we also have retained 2 slots in Governance Week, so we can have speakers from Suriname participate for the first time in Governance Week as well. So Rahul, I wanted to ask you to share a little bit about the Suriname Guyanese Chamber of Industry and Commerce, and basically how long you guys started and the businesses that are involved and so. So before we go in depth into the relationship between Trinidad, Guyana, and Suriname.
Absolutely. So in 2023, so two years ago, the chamber really started the groundwork. It was initiated by the ambassador of Suriname to Guyana, Ambassador Blankendal, who really drove the chamber to what it is today, herself and Dr. Vishnu Durga. And in that year as well, we did a virtual launch, which was uh, let's say, blessed by both governments who came on board to support. So from the Guyana side, we had Mr. Rampersad, who is the foreign secretary, taking part in that, and we also had the foreign affairs minister, Minister Albert Ramdin, who would have all come together to form and to ignite the chamber. And subsequently, from there, interest really started to spike. So we had founding members both Suriname and Guyana. And then in 2024, I was hired to carry on the vision and the mission that startup committee had. From then, we have done several missions back and forth between Suriname and Guyana. And we have even gone so far as to take a delegation to Houston, Texas at the Offshore Technology Conference. For the first time, Suriname had a major presence there. And then for this year here as well, we managed to do that in an even grand style. The chamber would have really focused its mandate on ensuring that the members really get connected with each other. So much so that we have started our own platform. We are actually the host of the International Business Conference. It's a conference that started here in Guyana, and then it went over into Suriname in February, and we are proud to say that it is in its expansion phase. So in October 14th to the 16th, we're hosting the 3rd edition here in Guyana, where we're going to launch an expo component of that conference so that, businesses get the ability to market themselves and present themselves to international delegations that's coming. So that's just a little snippet on what the chamber has been doing so far for the year. Additionally, we have a small focus on policy as well. So one of the things that's unique to Suriname and Guyana is that we're not so far away from each other. There's actually the Quarantine River that separates us. And one of the things that's actually uh, one of the barriers to trade is actually the connectivity, the ferry service. And that's one of the things that the chamber would have focused on. And given that both governments would have publicly said that they want to privatize certain institutions, the chamber jumped on board and we would have prepared a public-private partnership for the Guyana ferry service, which is now being considered and tabled for discussion and approvals by government as well. So in a nutshell, what the chamber has been up to over the last 2 years.
Okay, great. Well, it sounds like you've been very active in the few years that the chamber has been formed, because clearly there's a lot of interest among the businesses in Guyana and Suriname to be
Absolutely,
connected and share. But as you see, the trade with
absolutely.
Trinidad and Tobago as well. So, what would you say are the opportunities for businesses that may be interested in connecting with the three countries? Are there specific areas that you would say there are opportunities for building relationships and selling particular products or services?
So the thing is, the way or the wave that the boom is happening here in Guyana, everything is a business opportunity. I can quote one of the speeches I heard in the energy conference here is that even if you sell hamburgers, it's an opportunity. You're here
Yes.
in Guyana and you can see the level of businesses. There's construction, there's tourism. Suriname is soon to follow suit because of their FID that they had last year as well. So the same effect, Guyana is going through the same changes. It's the same in Suriname as well. It's not really sector specific. Everything is going to be elevated. All of the sectors are going to be more business friendly. You're going to see more investment activity across the board. I did mention that yesterday in my opening remarks that uh, Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad, we have this unique ability. Trinidad with their industry experience, oil and gas. Guyana now on the horizon, as well as Suriname. Combined together, we have the ability to serve the entire region as well. I did mention that the intra-trade between the CARICOM states, it's only 13 to 15%. And if you quote me, I did say that it can either be an opportunity or it can be a threat. We get the ability now to shape how we want that to really reflect on how we want to bump up that number.
So, and I like that it means that there is a huge gap. So there are opportunities for everyone. And as you say, it
Absolutely.
really could from whichever area that people have their interest and skill set. It is so then if someone were interested in being able to set up business in Guyana, let's say, what are some of the pitfalls that they may face, or what are some of the things you will guide them in how they should go
Absolutely.
about feasibility and
So,
so.
so one of the things that over the last year that I've been with the chamber is that there is so much misinformation that's out there. Chambers are really the guiding facilitators of how to do business. And one thing the Secretariat really prides itself in is developing a roadmap across both Suriname and Guyana on how to get started. What does step one entail? And the beauty of our membership and the board is that we have consultants who offer these kind of services that are um, indicative of attracting foreign investors to coming in so that they can set up their businesses over here, whether the first step is to figuring out if the name is applicable, then moving to the registry, then being registered for your taxes, NIS and both GRA, which is very important when you're going to be involved in the bidding process. So those are just some of the key things. And the same for Suriname as well. We do have a member on the chamber board who offers the setting up and the guidance services. You probably know this that maybe one of the challenges most businesses face is the bank account. How to get a bank account within Guyana or with Suriname. These are the members that make that possible for businesses and make it so much more easier as well.
Well, certainly we are seeing the change here in Guyana. Business
Mhm.
appears to be booming from all fronts. There's a lot of construction. As you say, we see huge buildings that are going up all over. I understand there are a number of international chains that will be setting up
Yep.
business in Georgetown in particular.
Yep.
So it means that even if you are not a large organization, but you may be a small business that is interested in being able to expand, you can provide service for some of those larger organizations.
Absolutely. So the chamber has membership tiers, whether you're small, medium, and large, and it really depends on the revenue, the annual revenue that is that that company makes. And we serve medium, like I said, small, medium, and large businesses. So that's no barrier. Um, and the same level of professionalism, everybody gets to experience the trade missions, the activities, special meetings that members want, advocacy as well. It's all included within what this BSO could provide.
Okay, so Rahul, let's come to governance. We can particular for a little bit as well. As you know, our theme this year is governance in the age of generative AI. And so, have you found that your businesses in Guyana are open to using the new technology? What has been your sense of how both here are viewing this changing environment?
Let me just say as well, I don't, so in this meeting, my AI was not invited, but
Right.
the level of technology that's happening, especially from a chamber's perspective and from my perspective, the secretariat utilizes AI on a daily basis. Within every hour, every aspect that we do, it has some level of AI that's attached to it. The note takers in Zoom, it's AI generated. And it's so good that it sends out the notes and the minutes after a meeting completely seamless, complete, and it's 100% accurate as well. And that's just the impact that AI has been helping us refine and reshape the way that we interact, the way that we do business as well. And it has been helpful. You would not imagine that in that 2 years, the secretariat only has two persons that's employed. And the reason partly why that was able to be done, it's really because of AI as well. And most of the management, the ideas, the thought processes has been generated through AI. So for me, it has been a major help, and I've never used softwares like that before. And it expands beyond ChatGPT as well. There's DeepSeek that's now in the market as well that we're testing out. Yeah,
And are you seeing similarly the businesses that are members of your organization, that they too are open to using the AI software?
absolutely. And a commitment from the government that I could remember is that in the Berbice region, Region 6 here in Guyana, there is going to be an AI data center established. So we are gearing and we are looking on that horizon for advanced technology over here in Guyana.
That's really good to hear, because yesterday's interview, we had a young man from St. Lucia who was talking
Okay,
about their development of software, and being able to unleash a lot of the potential that AI has to be able to escalate a lot of business ventures very quickly. For instance, they spoke about being able to identify government contracts across the Caribbean region. So any government that has contracts out, that would enable people to be able to bid, and they have AI that would help you write the proposal as well. So
absolutely.
lots of ways, yes, that's going to enhance businesses. So let's look at the area of cybersecurity as it relates to this as well. One of the things that we are recognizing is, in the past, boards tended to leave that responsibility to the IT managers.
Right.
But now, as you are looking at using the technology in the core areas of the business, one also need to pay attention to the possibility of cyber attacks. So have you found that directors are talking more about putting safeguards in place to protect the organizations?
Absolutely. And, cybersecurity is now on a rise as well. I'm actually in conversation and in talks with a company out of Barbados that is established in Canada. And one of the things that they're looking to introduce is, yes, there's AI and there's the cloud, but how are you securing these information? And one of the things that he's looking to do here in Guyana is actually provide those cybersecurity services. So we are in talks right now for him to attend the business conference over here and present his technology and what it can do and how it can improve and add an extra layer of security for the banks, for the ministries, for organizations like us as well, and just how our data can be protected. So there is a conversation that's also happening on how to manage and protect that confidential information.
Okay. Now you have a lot of persons in Guyana who are owning businesses for the first time, even because
Mhm.
of the boom that is happening. And as you say, there are
Right.
opportunities for persons to come in. It's not just in the oil and gas sector. You have a lot of development that's happening in the agricultural sector as well. Manufacturing too is beginning to take off in a big way. So have you found that the Guyanese community is welcoming of, the amount of foreign businesses that are entering their space as well?
Absolutely. And that's why forums such as this trade mission here, it's important. That's why forums such as the International Business Conference is important because those are the forums that we use to attract international investors back into Guyana to see what we have to offer, to see what the local private sector is and to form meaningful partnerships. So, and there is concessions as well for foreign investors. If you have your proposal tabled, it's where the Guyana Office for Invest comes in and discussing how you could get VAT exemption, duty, land, that sort of concessions. They are there and geared towards attracting foreign investors in Guyana.
As you mentioned that too, are you seeing a lot of Guyanese returning home? Because we know that there were more Guyanese living outside of Guyana
Mhm.
than in Guyana itself. So
Yeah.
has the
So
increase in business attracted
there
Guyana?
has been there has been a few um, engagements and for the diaspora to come back. We again actually has a diaspora unit attached to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that's geared towards traveling out back, seeing where most of our diaspora is, and bringing them back home. One of the challenges we find with diaspora is that they have left when there was a time when Guyana was now going through its changes, and diaspora would have left for a reason. And for them to come back, it's going to be hard work. And that's why you have, well, that unit set up there, but the concessions as well, the remigration status, how to get them back into Guyana. Guyana is actually developing a new city called Silica City. And the first phase of that project is actually for the diaspora, for them to get to come back as well.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that project?
It is in its budding phase. The work is still ongoing. I don't have much information on that, but I'll be happy to connect with the Central Housing and Planning Authority and just how because they have the roadmap, they have a layout of exactly how that project is going to be rolled out.
Okay. So, but I know when I've taught in the MBA program here in Guyana for many years. And one of the things I
Okay.
recognized was a lot of the students were looking to complete and graduate from the MBA in order that they can migrate. I'm not sure that that has changed though. Are you seeing that people, because the government is offering a lot of scholarships for persons to continue with their tertiary studies? Are persons excited about the growth and development here, or is there still a general sense of wanting to migrate?
Um, there is still that's happening, student migration. However, over the last 5 years, government has curtailed and they've invested a lot in the scholarship program. I think when government now came in, there was a promise to do 20,000 scholarships. And just yesterday, I saw the article whereby it became 39,000 graduates coming out of just those scholarships. It's called the goal, by the way. And to just see that double, you can definitely tell there that there's an interest to just stay back here, get my studies done from the convenience of my home, upgrade myself here. Of course, government has invested a lot in it to, make use of that opportunity. So it is a balancing effect to see, who is actually leaving and who is staying as well.
Mhm. And I guess one of the things that works well for Guyana in particular is the local content legislation, which requires that when
Absolutely.
businesses come and set up, that they also hire a certain number of Guyanese nationals. So there are
Absolutely.
job opportunities for persons locally.
Absolutely. So if you look at the local content law, there is a schedule and it clearly outlines the sectors and the particular businesses that are up for grabs by Guyanese companies and just how uh sorry, backing up a bit. Just recently, Guyana completed the local content summit, which we were a part of, and to just see the successes of that of local content and its impact on Guyana. Definitely, it was an experience, to see Guyanese being offered jobs, playing heavily in the oil and gas industry. It's just amazing to just see that and just how beneficial that policy has been for Guyana.
Well, I can tell you, as the Caribbean corporate governance, since as we move across the region, there are a lot of eyes in the region towards Guyana. Everyone is happy to see the kind of progress that is happening here and hopefully the opportunities for Guyana in turn to help the region because there are many countries where the economies are not doing that well. And finding opportunities for jobs, finding opportunities to start businesses. Those are things that around the
Mhm.
region, persons are looking to Guyana to give a bit of a stimulus, on the basis of the amount of the booming economy that is occurring here.
Right. That is absolutely true. And Guyana welcomes all of the investment opportunities. Like I mentioned, every sector, every business idea that you can think of, you must give it a try here and also manage your expectations as well as you're stepping into a new culture, a new playing field. Yeah,
And as you mentioned that culture expectations, Rahul, I will agree with that 100%. When you are
yeah.
in Guyana, if you are not a Guyanese, I do not recommend you drive on the Guyana roads. It's a
Well, you
particular
for
skill.
the delegation that came in here from Trinidad, we're so fortunate to have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs play a major role in ensuring that we get the police escort. Particularly one of the reasons why you get the traffic, it's because most of the roads, as you can see, they're under construction, they're up for upgrading, which is vital for any economy. The transport and the access is just really important. And this is where that industrialization phase for Guyana begins.
Yes, that's right.
So
Because what
it's a very small price to pay for development.
Yes,
Yeah,
because I was learning from other persons who are in Guyana here that a lot of this construction for the roads in particular should be finished within months, certainly within the next year. And a lot
yep,
of the huge buildings that are already being constructed will be finished
yep,
before the end of the year as well. So
absolutely.
next year's trade mission to Guyana, we would see a completely transformed Guyana.
Not even till then. Yesterday when we were, well, yeah, the day that we arrived, there was actually the Ogle to Temeri Road, Ogle to Echo, sorry, that's almost completed. And that there, it's just the bridges they have to, my apologies. Am I connected back? My apologies. Could you
Yes,
hear
no,
me?
no, it's fine. We're hearing you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the wrapping up of that road. The Ogle to Echoes Road, and that there would significantly reduce a lot of the traffic on the East Coast, especially for those commuters that have to work on along the East Bank Highway. That's one of the transformations, and another it's the Mar Harbor Bridge. You don't know the struggles of the Mar Harbor Bridge in the morning. It's horrible with traffic, and to just see that overhead a bridge being constructed, and it is well on the schedule as well to be completed this year. So to just see how Region 3 is being bridged over to Region 4, that is going to be terrific, and a celebration as well for Guyana.
Guyana, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember, and I mean, it is really great to be able to see the kind of development that's happening. It was a pleasure first to be escorted by police, I will tell you, as we came from the Georgetown airport, because I do know how bad the traffic is
right.
here in Guyana. So Rahul, I think that you and your team have done a really wonderful job in
Thank you.
support trade mission here from Trinidad and Tobago. Certainly, we
Yeah,
at CCGI have found it to be very beneficial, networking not only with businesses here in Guyana, but of course, even with the Trinidad companies that have formed
yeah.
part of the mission.
Well,
So
I want to commend you on something as well. You have been handling governance week while tucked in a corner there, and that is,
yes,
I can never tell that you are in a room filled with 27 other companies and people are just entering and knocking at the various desks to conduct B2B meetings. So that kudos and hats off to you for being able to pull that off. I know it's a busy time for you as well.
thank you. Yes, and as I was sharing with Warren earlier, I'm happy to be supported by the team from CCGI. We have a young group that is working well, and so we are looking forward to having a really amazing time for Governance Week. So as we bring the live stream to an end, I want to let persons know Rahul is one of those panelists that you would be hearing from as we explore the whole issue of governance in the age of generative AI. There would be speakers from around the Caribbean region, and our opening keynote is Fatima Salem from the University of Beirut. So wide range of perspectives that's going to share and help us all grow and understand this evolving area of generative AI and how boards and officers can harness this to really help organizations. Rahul, if you want to give any closing thoughts, we have just about 30 seconds I can share with you. The Suriname Guyana Chamber has done a really good job with this trade mission. You were just a few years old, but sounds like you guys have a lot of really good plans for supporting businesses around these countries.
Absolutely. So there was one of the successes of the chamber is that there has been pent-up demand um, for both of these countries to really work together. Logistically, we are in a position whereby we actually can be the ones that follow that CSME framework, that single economy. And I just want to say special thank you to the TTMA team for believing in the chamber, to having us be consultants on the mission. And thank you as well for being a participant. And I do look forward to seeing the successes. I mean, yesterday we've seen a few come out already. One of the companies signed deals, and today we're hoping to see much more success stories coming out from these companies visiting Guyana as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Rahul. And so
Thank
we
you.
bring our second segment of this Governance Live series to an end as we lead towards Governance 2025. Thank you all so much, and join me tomorrow as we do another interview, this time with Yana Samuels from Jamaica. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
evening now.
Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.